What's going on, everybody? It's Friday morning. It's November 17th, Friday morning. I have today off, kind of enjoying it. But welcome to McFarland's Corner in a public rundown for Lake Fork. I usually film these on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then they get aired hopefully by Wednesdays and Fridays. But since I had today off, I thought I'd wake up early this morning, have a little coffee, and get this filmed early so I can get it up to you by lunchtime for the weekend. So it's Friday, and it's really interesting. Lake Fork has been a very, very strange roller coaster ride for this whole entire year. Back in March, about March 10th, we were warm trending huge the first couple weeks of March. Spring was really on its way in a hurry, and the big fish showed up fast and furious. And Brooke managed to break away from school for spring break, and she came and we fished for 5 days, and each day got better and better, and we literally had 27 pounds, 29 pounds, 30 pounds, 32 pounds, and then the 5th day a cold front hit. And when I say 27 pounds, I mean for best 5. We had a 9.8, was one of the biggest fish of the week. It was awesome. The cold front hit on the 5th day, and we dang near zeroed the whole day. And about 4 in the afternoon, I said, "Look, I'm tired. Let's go." And Brooke said, "Hey, you promised me that this is my spring break, and this is the last fishing I'll get to do for some time. You promised me I can fish as much as I want. I'm not done yet." So I said, "Well, I'm exhausted. I'm going to go power pull down on one of those shallow shell beds, and from 4 to 6 dark, you can throw your arm off, but I'm done." So I power pulled down on the edge of a reef, and she threw a swim bait and a glide bait, and she mixed it up with a chicken rig and a couple other things. But about 10 minutes to 6, she catches a 6-pounder, and then a back-to-back with an 8-pounder, and then back-to-back with another 6-pounder. And I thought, oh my gosh, I said, "Come on, girl, keep it going. We're going to have another 30-pound plus sack, 2 more bites, and we got a big bag again." We didn't get any more. The reason I'm sharing this with you is that was back in March. Well, then we had cold front after cold front after cold front after cold front after cold front, all the way deep into May and even June. And it was the strangest spawns I'd ever seen, the most stretched out spawn. It was the strangest bass fishing season I've ever seen in my life. And here's the deal. You know, if you watch me and you're faithful to me, as I am to you, I tell the truth, that I log everything. I log the daily temperatures, the daily levels. Well, I also log the fish counts. It helps. Keeping history helps. I log the baits that we were using, the times of years. It doesn't always sync up perfectly, but I log this information on purpose. Not only do I log it, but a lot of times with fish catches, I have backed up photos, the photos to prove it. So when I tell you what I'm about to tell you, it's not just fisherman's talk. Call me out on it and I'll prove it. But what I'm going to tell you is that last year, with the lake being low, I boated as the captain of the boat. 149 is the exact number. I say 150. 150 bass from 8 to 10 pounds, with only 3 of them that went over 10 pounds. 2 of those 3 were actually caught by Brooke on her boat. One of them came on my boat with Brooke. So Brooke caught all 3 of the double-digit fish that I had last year. But 149 bass between 8 and 10 pounds boarded the boat. That means they were caught by me, clients, whomever, in 2022. In 2023, there were 3 bass. I caught 2 9-pounders, a 9.3, a 9.8, and Brooke caught an 8.6. That's it. A lot of 4, 5, 6-pounders came along the boat. The numbers are good. Small fish is really good. Okay, but this is just big goofy. Where did the big fish go? So the reason I'm sharing this before I give you a little report is I've been talking with the biologists a lot, and we don't believe they're gone. The shock surveys show things well. The fish count is pretty good. Some places, some parts of the lake, the shock survey doesn't show well. That's normal. Fish move around. So when they go way up on the west side somewhere and shock it flat and have no fish come up, that doesn't mean there's no fish in the lake. You can't judge by that. You judge by the whole system of shocking in sections and areas. And so the shot count is showing great numbers, lots of little fish. If you're fishing for little fish right now, if you go out and target small fish, get a spinning rod, 6-pound test, a little beetle spin or a small worm or a small shaky head, you'll catch all the little, once you find them, you'll catch all the little fish you want. 10, 12, 13-inch fish, there's plenty of them. So there's still a good cycle, there's a system happening in there. But 2023 was strange, and I just wanted to share that with you publicly. I can't be any more honest than that. When I'm willing to share something like that publicly, that say my business only boated 3 fish over 8 pounds for this whole entire year on the world famous lake fork, that's saying a lot. But I'm telling you, the year before I had 149. So, and all the years before were terrific. World-class bass fishing. Yes, it's ups and downs. It's a roller coaster ride when you target big fish. But anyways, I believe they're still there. I believe they're rising water. We ended up going from 8 feet low to full pool in just a few months. We had a lot of water that came. In fall of 2022, we were 8 feet low. I'm sorry, right before the big bass splash, we were 8 feet low, and Bob Seeley was going to cancel the big bass splash, and we got 2 feet of water overnight. That saved the big bass splash. Well, we continued, and before, within just a few months, by January, February, we were full pool. I think that scattered the fish and made a lot of variables that were different. And again, I've been talking to the biologists. We've got 4 or 5 factors: high intense fishing pressure, forward imaging, rising water, night lights. None of the docks and none of the night lights were available for 18 months. Now all of a sudden all the night lights again are available, and the big fish go to the night lights and the bass have a deer feeder at night. All of these variables, and then one more variable that I'll discuss before I give you this report. Big bass aren't stupid. They didn't get big, for no particular reason. They grew old. They have characteristics. They've been through things, survival, and they can pass that on. By the way, genetically, it's the biology. I just had this conversation with a biologist yesterday. They learn how to survive, how to evade situations, and then they can pass that on in their genetics. Well, if we, McFarland Fishing, boated 149 bass over 8 pounds last year, I guarantee that we weren't the only one. There's so many great fishing guys on this lake, really, really good fishermen, really good guys that know exactly what they're doing to put the clients on the fish. There were probably thousands of fish over 8 pounds caught last year. If I just take 10 guys, I'm not going to say names, but I can name 10 guys right now that I guarantee caught 100 or 150 or maybe more than we did. I don't know. We did tear it up pretty good last year. We started some fires last year. There was a lot of jealousy and a lot of nonsense that went about because of it, posting and everything. Haters, social media haters. Brooke and I did tear it up pretty good. McFarland Fishing tore it up with clients. But I'm being humble, and I guarantee there's at least 10 other guys out there that tore it up. And some of them don't post. There's at least 10 or more local fishermen that tore it up, and I'm keeping that's a small number. So there's more than 1,000 big bass last year that got their butt handed to them. You don't think they didn't learn? That's like a big buck in the woods just evading the arrow or ducking the arrow. They learned. So we might not have caught a lot of those big fish this year because we beat the brakes off them last year, all of us. That's food for thought. Lake level, as of the last couple days, it's come down. And there's another variable that we just discussed with the biologist. When I first came here in 2010, this lake was stable. This lake had grass all over the place. And this was not a constant change. Yes, they still pulled some water from time to time. Yes, you still had rainstorms that made it go up a little bit. But right now, SRA is in the business of selling and moving water more than they have ever been in 2023. Populations have grown. Populations that are getting more and more out here in the woods. The use of the water is increased. Now, this lake is never stable anymore. Ever. Ever. It reminds me of Arizona lakes. It reminds me of California lakes that are irrigation type lakes. They're never stable, so the fish cannot do stable things. The fish cannot use that same spot every single day because the water changes. This is huge variable. Again, we got a handful of variables that makes this lake a roller coaster ride. 0 to 1 clarity, 63, 65 temps. It's actually fishing okay, man. If you're going to fish shallow, you want to go spinner baits, chatter baits, square bill crankbaits. You know, look for balls of bait. Look for shallow bait, you know, in 2 to 5 feet of water. Play the wind to your favor. If the wind's from the south, you're going to do better. Move around. If you're not getting bit, move. And in and out of the coves, the creeks, the pockets, the coves. I would stay main lake, mid-body. Don't go too far north. With the last couple of cold fronts and the rains that muddied the water up there, there's just not a lot up there. And I can tell you that straight out. The biologist didn't find much north. A lot of times I say go north early in the spring, go north early in the fall. But, you know, stay main lake, main body, middle of the lake, both sides, east and west fork. And if you're fishing shallow, crankbaits, spinner baits, chatterbaits are probably a little large. Smaller baits are better. Then if you pull off deep, your soft plastics, you know, Texas rig worms, Carolina rigs, jigs, things like that are catching fish. If you do it right. But if you're not catching fish right now, move. Keep moving. Do not stay in an area for too long. 15, 20, I call it 20-minute rule. If I'm not catching something in an area in 20 minutes, we'll move it again. Because then when I do start catching fish, that area, for whatever reason, has fish, and now I can be more productive. But that's kind of the gist of what's going on. Shallow, you want crankbaits, spinner baits, chatterbaits, moving baits, maybe some underspins. Haven't had a good fall on underspins. And again, I had a client comment the other day that he threw a spinnerbait for 4 hours and didn't catch fish. And on that same day, we didn't either on the spinnerbait, so we pulled out, fished points and caught him on points. And with the Carolina rig. And, you know, I messaged him, did you try the points? Did you pull out? He said, no, dadgummit. As I idled in, I saw the bait balls on the points, and dang it, I missed it. That's how easy it is to miss it. So remember, bounce back and forth, shallow, deep throughout the day. It can change. But if you're not catching fish this time of year, you got to keep changing. You got to keep shuffling your feet. Okay, that's it. I can't think of anything else. I'm looking at 3 rods that are specifically working well. 3 rods tied up with 3 baits that I'm running. And I'm getting ready to do a members only report. In today's members only report, I've actually got about 5 different guides who have given me reports for Tawakoni, Laban, Athens, O.H. Ivy. I'm going to give you information here. I'm going to give the members only information for Lake Welsh, for Winnsboro, Ray Hubbard. So the members only channel that I always solicit you to come be a part of is much more than just an increased Lake Fork fishing report. You get a much more detailed Lake Fork fishing report. I tell you exactly what McFarland Fishing is doing, what's working and what's not working. I tell you the exact locations, the names of the coves. I tell you right where to go. The same places that I'm fishing with my clients. And now I'm adding all these other lakes around here with other guides. And not just bass. I'm adding crappie reports and catfishing reports and white bass, stripers, and hybrids. So once again, as usual, I'm asking you, give it a try. It's $5.99 a month to subscribe to my members only channel, which has so much more in-depth fishing reports and information that it probably should be $20 a month. But $5.99 per month. I believe that's what it is. It was $4.99 and YouTube changed it on me. I don't have any discretion on that. So anyways, it's your invite. If you're interested, when you click out of this video, look in the description below this video and click on the link to become a member. Follow the process. It's very simple. If you don't like it, unsubscribe. It's simple. But I say it all the time. I say, guys, if I said they're eating this particular bait, and a lot of guys will immediately go buy it, and they spend $8, $9, $10 on a lure because I said so. Why wouldn't you spend $6 a month for 8 fishing reports? 8 super special, detailed fishing reports, more than you're going to get here publicly. All right, that's it. I'm thankful for you. Hit the like button, hit the comment button, share some information if you like, share pictures of some fish if you find success. Private message me if you have any questions you don't want public to see, 602-826-1524. And other than that, I wish you all great fishing. Hope you catch a big one. And if you come out to Fork and see me, say hi. Mike McFarland, the Lake Fork Guide.